Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's podcast. Last time we looked at the structure of the competency based education, the structure of the competency based education. Today, I would like us to look at the competencies that a learner is supposed to develop in the process of learning when dealing with the competency based curriculum, because we said the competency based education is delivered through the competency based curriculum. And so, what are the competencies? Remember, these competencies are expected to enable the learner, the child, to develop practical skills needed for the 21st century. These competencies emphasize application of knowledge rather than just rote memorization of knowledge. Remember in the 844, we used to memorize quite a lot. But here, we are talking about practical application of the knowledge and skills acquired during learning. And so that's why we are talking about the competencies. Now, how many competencies do we have in the C.B.C, competency based curriculum? We have 7 core competencies. Competency number 1 is communication and collaboration. Communication and collaboration. Now, what is communication and collaboration? It entails exchange of ideas, thoughts, and through speaking and writing, the learners are expected to engage in group activities, cooperative learning, and in tasks that are involving discussions, teamwork, and therefore communication skills emerge. So learners are required to understand the aspects of communication, collaborate, work together as a team to achieve a common purpose. That is, communication and collaboration is one of the core competencies in the C.B.C. The second one is critical thinking and problem solving. Critical thinking and problem solving. Now, this competence, it enables learners to use logic and evidence to arrive at objective conclusions and explore new ways of thinking. So, learners are expected to explore new ways of thinking, logical thinking, and apply this in solving problems. So, it helps them to analyze problems and make sound judgment and adapt to new situations. That is what we call critical thinking and problem solving. That is competency number 2. Competency number 3 is called creativity and imagination. Creativity and imagination is the ability to generate new ideas and turn them into tangible creations. Developing new ideas and turning them into tangible creations. So the curriculum engages students to form imaginative images in their minds and convert them into real visible outputs. So they imagine situations, they create situations in their minds, and therefore later they can convert those situations they imagine into real visible outputs. That is creativity and imagination. The competence number 4 is citizenship. Now, this competence fosters the sense of national identity, patriotism, and social responsibility. It fosters the sense of national identity, patriotism, and social responsibility. It encourages learners to understand their rights and duties within their community and nation and to approach conflicts objectively. That is citizenship. Competency number 5, digital literacy. So, in a technologically developed world, digital literacy is essential, and therefore, this competency involves the ability to use digital devices and platforms safely and securely to access, evaluate, and use information effectively. So, they use the digital literacy competency is to enable the learners to access information, but in a secure manner, in a manner that will help them to develop, because we are living in a digital world. So, in the digital space from where they work, the learners are expected to interact with digital devices and therefore know how to use them and apply the use of digital devices in solving problems, day to day problems in the society. Number 6, competency number 6, learning to learn. Now, this is the pursuit and persistence of learning throughout one's life. So, throughout one's life, we are expected to learn. So, it requires learners to be aware of their own learning process, organize their studies, and develop the ability to overcome obstacles successfully. Learning to learn. So, that is a core competency in the curriculum, competency based curriculum, CBC, that you must learn to learn. Competency number 7 is self efficacy. Now, what is self efficacy? This refers to a learner's belief in them, their ability to perform tasks and accomplish goals successfully. So, a learner is expected to believe in themselves. A strong sense of self efficacy builds confidence and resilience, allowing students to perceive difficult tasks as challenges to be overcome. So, learners must develop that self efficacy for them to overcome challenges and for them to believe in themselves and grow their confidence so that they can tackle any situations, no matter how much it looks complex, no matter how complex it is, they face it head on, knowing that they are able. That is self efficacy. So there are 7 competencies that a learner is supposed to develop in the process of learning in the competency based curriculum. Now, how do these competencies, how are they developed? First of all, the learner centered approach. We said CBC shifts from the teacher centered lecturing method to the learner centered approach, whereby the learners are given an opportunity to come up with ideas, to come up with new knowledge, develop their own way of doing things, and therefore, this one involves students in their education. They come up with new ideas. So it is learner centered. That is how the competencies are developed. Number 2, another way of how to develop the competencies, we have the practical activities. Learners are often given project based activities, practical activities, and therefore this is an opportunity for them to acquire knowledge in real life situations. So, such as planting a seed or participating in a community cleanup. That is practical activities. Number 3, continuous assessment. So, instead of high stakes exams that were in the 844 system, in the CBC, we have the continuous assessments, the continuous school based assessments, what we call SBA, to track a student's progress and mastery of skills. Then we have parental engagement. The curriculum emphasizes the role of a parent as, as a co-educator who helps in reinforcing learning activities at home. So it is not just about the teacher or the facilitator in school, but about that collaboration between the teacher, the student, and the parent. The parent is involved so much in the competency based education or the competency based curriculum. So, through this, the competencies are nurtured and therefore overally realized. At the end of it all, you're supposed to know that these competencies are exuded, they are depicted in a learner after senior school throughout learning. So, those are the seven core competencies in the competency based education. Thank you very much, and we shall continue with this series.